Guys, welcome back to Sarcastic Remarks alongside my brother Chris. My name is Ryan. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast at THPN. Go and use that promo code THPN the next time you go and use DraftKings Sportsbook. And the next time you go and use DraftKings Sportsbook, you should bet that the Stars are going to win by at least 4 goals because the Dallas Stars win for the second time this week over the Minnesota Wild by a final score of 7-2. Chris, how are you feeling tonight?
Oh, deja vu. I mean, last game was amazing, and this game is even better. I mean, just pile it on. That second period was just beautiful. 16 shots to 3 for Minnesota. I mean, we just fully bent them over and spanked them over and over again throughout the entirety of the last 6 periods, and I enjoyed every last second of it. I hope Wild fans were crying themselves to sleep on Monday, and I hope they do it again tonight, and I hope they suck this bad for the rest of forever. Y'all suck.
That's because you didn't get your licks in last night, right?
Correct.
Or the other night, excuse me. Because James and I got all our licks in on Monday night. It was ridiculous, the amount of hate that we were getting. Oh, but it was so much fun to go on Twitter and troll a little bit. And you know what's funny? The only time that I troll with the podcast X account is when it's the Minnesota Wild fan base. Like, I don't do it with any other fan base. It's just
because you make it so easy, Minnesota Wild fans. The things you argue for, and you get so mad. It's great. It's my favorite thing.
Oh, man. So, I mean, the Stars played an excellent game tonight. So let's give it to them first before we get onto the Wild a little bit. But the Stars, for the second game in a row, I loved the way they played defense tonight. They proved it again for the second game in a row that, yes, Miro Heiskanen is an extremely important person to this team. But, man, they're doing okay without him. The first game was excellent. Harley is really stepping into that role as the number one minute muncher for the Stars. Hanley is doing pretty well in some exaggerated roles and getting some extra ice time. Nils Lundkvist gets a goal tonight. I mean, just it's really cool to see how this team has kind of gelled together, especially after those 3 games that they probably should have won that they lost.
Yeah. We talked about what an opportunity it was for Harley and Lundkvist, and they are both making the most of it. I mean, Harley, like you said, pretty much is showing that he is ready to be a number 1 defenseman in the NHL. Not just he's ready for the NHL, which was the question mark going in. He's ready to be one of the guys for this team. He is solidly our second best defenseman now, 100%. You couldn't have asked for his season to go any better. And he's taken just another step. When with Heiskanen gone, he's able to show that he could be the guy if we needed it. We don't want that to be the case, but if we need it, he's there. And then Lundkvist, 2 games in a row, he's at 19 minutes time on ice. He gets 19-10 tonight. He gets 2 points, 1 goal, 1 assist. Great assist. It was a good goal too. I mean, it's kind of garbage time, but who cares? It's a goal. So both of those guys are really taking advantage of this opportunity that they're getting, and especially for me, Lundkvist is. I mean, to get that much trust these past 2 games and to do very well as well. I mean, he played great.
So that leads to some questions going forward. I mean, obviously, you would think that Hanley is coming out of the lineup when Miro returns, which is not going to be for a while, but it's kind of crazy and to think that it's only been, 3 games without him right now. And the first game they looked a little rough, but then the last 2 games, and yes, it's against the Wild, so not a playoff team, but still they've all of the defensemen have looked pretty decent, and they've gotten a lot of help from the forwards. Just the team defense overall has looked great the last 2 games.
Yeah, I feel like they really stepped up very well, especially when we needed it, especially for Matt Murray. And even tonight for Wedgwood, they did the same thing, limited him to 23 shots tonight. I mean, we want to keep doing that, especially if we can keep putting up goals the way we are. Definitely keep doing that. And who knows, maybe we look back at this at the end of the season, we're like, that time we lost Otter and Miro at the same time. What a blessing. We were able to come together as a team, figure out how to get back to our team defense and keep the offensive and keep the offense going, this might be a blessing in disguise. Who knows? We might figure something out. But it's an important stretch of the season to try and figure something out too, because we got a bunch more Central Division matchups in the next week here.
Well, the crazier thing about the shots on goal when you're talking about that, Chris, they had 9. The Wild had 9 shots through the first 2 periods. They doubled their shots. They had 14 in the third. So, I mean, yeah, you might say, oh well, they allowed a lot of shots in the third period. Who cares? I
Game
mean, the
was over.
goals, the goals that went in, there was one major mistake. That was it, and it was on the power play. And it was on the 5-on-3
Hey,
power
on a
play on top of
5-on-3,
that.
can you really call that a major mistake?
You shouldn't allow a pass like that through.
You shouldn't allow a slam dunk.
Hakanpää,
Agreed.
yeah,
But it's a 5-on-3.
But I'm not mad. I'm really not mad. Like Yanni and Essa, like 99 times out of 100, don't allow that pass to get through on 5-on-4 or 5-on-3. And the one time they allow it through, it's whatever. It was the game was pretty much out of reach at that point, anyways.
You want something to be mad at? How about that tripping call on Sagan? That was
yeah.
the officiating these past 2 games has been the craziest thing I've seen. I mean, I'm glad it hasn't mattered, but my goodness. And for that call to be called on Sagan right after he literally got a 2-hand cross check right to the lower back and went face first into the boards with nothing called. I mean, to come back and score after that is the ultimate justice of the game.
I'm not even really mad at the refs. I'm just hacked off at the Minnesota fan base. Oh, you're the super divers and all the little memes they made.
No, I'm mad at the refs. The refs sucked the past 2 games. They were bad. I mean, because the first penalty on Dallas yesterday 100% was a dive. Maybe the second one.
Oh, the second one was a dive too. But what else are we supposed to do?
Yeah, there's plenty of other chances for them to make calls. I mean, and tonight even Rope Hintz gets 2-hand slashed as he's on a rush going towards the Wild net. Goodness, I can't talk. Pavelski gets cross-checked in the back in the slot like he does every game and it never gets called. I mean, we're going to have to start diving if the refs are going to call stuff, I guess. I don't know. It didn't work. I mean, we still only got 2 power plays, and one of them was because of a delay of game.
One of the things that I probably should have looked up before starting the pod tonight is where we're at when it comes to power plays for the Dallas Stars. I'm not joking. I would not be surprised if like someone looks it up right now for us in the chat and tells us we're 30th, 31st, or 32nd in the league with power plays gotten.
Agreed.
I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of that makes sense. There's no way that we're even in the middle of the pack. At least that's just what it feels like. If the stat's wrong and I'm like 6 and we're like 16th or 17th, I would legit be shocked.
We're not. We're at the bottom, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have to be. So maybe eventually the ship will be righted. That's not a word, but I'm going with it. But it sucks right now when I guess it really doesn't suck that much because we've outscored.
Yeah, when you play the Wild, it doesn't suck because
11-2.
the Wild suck. They're like the worst hockey team in the NHL. They can't play. They can't do special teams. Tonight they couldn't do a 5-on-5. They even gifted a goal and they scored one off their butt and they still couldn't win the game. I mean, goodness, the Wild are so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't off there.
I'm going to keep going after the Wild a little bit more here. We sweep the season series, all of them blowout games. We score 4 shorthanded goals only against the Wild. Man, these guys stink. State of hockey, my butt. What a terrible franchise. What a terrible team. What a terrible fan base. What a terrible state. Who wants to live in Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Suck it, Wild.
Did you hear the stat that they said about the fact that, we had scored 4 shorthanded goals against the Minnesota Wild, and there are 16 teams in the NHL that have not even scored 4 shorthanded goals?
Yeah, it helps having a Tyler Seguin and a Rope Hintz killing your penalties. That's kind of nice.
Yes, it really does.
Works out pretty well for us.
It really does.
Also, since the Dumba hit on Pavelski, the Wild have won 1 game against the Stars. Just want to throw that out there as well.
Justification, yes. I do want to talk about one thing about the Wild, and you will probably not feel the same sentiment I do. But man, I feel really bad for their rookie goaltender getting thrown in like that. I really do. I know I'm supposed to hate the Wild, and I still do, and I don't like their fan base. But I can at the same time feel really bad for the goaltender, right? Do you have any sense of like depression for him? I really feel very bad for him in his first NHL start. He's so excited, and he was actually doing okay. I really thought he was doing okay through the first two periods. Well, first half of the game, and then it just exploded. And it wasn't really his fault. His team was just allowing, rush chance after rush chance after rush chance and not blocking anything, not doing anything to help him out.
Nope, kid plays for the Wild. He sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I did kind of feel bad for him, honestly. I feel bad for the goalie. And, man, every time we play the Wild, I'm always like, man, that Faber guy is really good.
Yes, okay, I got to give Minnesota credit there as well. Brock Faber, he seems to be the only guy that's, like, really hardcore trying on that team right now.
Yeah. If there wasn't a Connor Bedard, he would be a shoo-in for the Calder.
Well, he might be because now Connor Bedard is hurt for the next 2 months.
Who knows?
So, we'll see. But, yeah, Brock Faber, that one stat blew my mind. They're relying on a rookie defenseman to play like a ridiculous amount of minutes. He's played like over 30 minutes 5 times since December 14th. Like Miro Heiskanen doesn't even do that. That's stupid.
Faber is so good. I mean, every time he touches the puck, it's similar to Miro. It's like the effortless thing that we always talk about with Miro. It's just so easy for him. He just gets out of the zone, no problem. Pokes the puck off sticks, no problem. And he can actually throw some weight around too. I mean, he's a lot of fun to watch. I like Brock Faber.
Now
but he wears forest green, so actually I hate him though.
He had several mistakes in the last 2 games that led to Dallas goals. But the fact is he's playing so much in a ridiculous amount. You kind of have to give him some grace. I mean, he is the reason they scored the goal tonight. He threw the puck towards the net, the first goal. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what else he's supposed to do. So, I do feel bad for those 2 players. I do. But the rest of them, screw him.
Like, the rest of them can go to heck.
Yeah, Hartman go. Well, actually, I feel bad for Zuccarello too because he once upon a time was a Dallas
betrayed
star.
us.
But who's this guy? Nick Foligno's brother sucks at hockey. Marcus Foligno, screw him. Like no one likes him. So
I love that sports tune of Foligno crying. I use that all the time. It's my favorite.
I know you used it Monday night. I saw that. That was hilarious.
I did, yeah. I couldn't get on the pod Monday night, so I had to do some trolling, and it was wonderful.
I had to block a couple of people Monday night. I don't normally do that.
I'm the person that gets blocked.
Yeah. No, really. I can't see that at all, Chris. Can I?
Well,
okay.
Either way, I feel like these 2 games were just the perfect way for us to bounce back after our first really bad 3-game loss. And I really hope this kind of springboards us into the next important part of the schedule here. We got a lot of Central Division opponents coming up. A lot of need to win games. I mean, some games against some bad opponents. You need to take care of business. Get Otter back in there. See if he can get back to form as well, because even before his injury, he wasn't playing great, and we were talking about that too a little bit. So we need to see how he can bounce back from the injury, see if he can play a little bit better, and see if this whole no Miro thing and good defense is actually real, or if it's just that Minnesota's bad at hockey.
So, but before we move off of this game, actually, let's do our biggest winner, biggest loser, and I kind of want to look ahead a little bit because there's not really much to talk about with this game. So we'll very briefly discuss the other stuff. But who's your biggest winner, biggest loser out of this game?
My biggest winner for this one, just because we haven't really been giving him a lot of love this season, I feel like, even though he's been insane. Tyler Seguin, he is incredible. He gets another goal tonight, another even strength goal. That's how he scores all of them right now. And he has just been absolutely fantastic. We've talked about it for the past 3 months now. The Duchesne Seguin Marchment line is just unstoppable. It is amazing right now. And the speed and skill and size that they have is just going to be so dangerous when the playoffs come too.
Who's your biggest loser for this evening?
Biggest loser is the rookie goalie from the Wild. Don't even know his name. Poor guy let in 7 in his first game. That's going to hurt. You know what? No,
Yes.
I take that back. He doesn't get the biggest loser. The biggest loser goes to the Minnesota Wild for putting in their prospect goalie when they just knew they were going to get shellacked because they were playing their big brother. They should have waited.
So it's just the whole it's the coach, I guess you should say.
Yeah.
John Hines.
Coach decided to put him in. Yeah. Idiot.
Oh man, that's hilarious. For me, there's a lot of people that you could pick here tonight, but you know what? Since he's not, I don't know what the future's gonna look like for him. Nils Lundqvist, I'll give it to him tonight. I'm kind of riding the coattails of Taylor from Defending Big D. She gave him the #1 star at the American Airlines Center tonight. She was the one that chose the 3 stars. So I'll jump on that. It's been so cool to watch him play the last 2 games, and it really makes my heart happy. Like
it feels like this is what he needs to be doing.
This
like
is
this is what he can do.
And this and it's sad to realize this in the fact
it makes
that
it more frustrating.
Yes, because but what required him to get more ice time and to play a little bit better is to have Miro Heiskanen out of the lineup. Why can't we have our cake and ice cream with it at the same time? Why can't we have
I want
both?
all of it.
Yes, exactly.
And it's not just I blame the coaching staff a lot for the Nils stuff, but he's been given chances. It's not like he hasn't had these opportunities. And then finally he's forced. He's going to play. We know that. And then he takes advantage of it. Like at least he's doing it. I'm glad. But man, why couldn't it happen at the beginning of the year? Ugh.
Well, the thing is I think forced is the wrong word, because that implies something that like he's got some sort of like pressure on his back. There is no pressure on him right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely none. He is going to play. Like they can't call anybody up. They to make it work to get somebody up to play in the lineup. It's him. Like DeBoer has no choice. Like the coaching staff has no choice. They have to throw him in the lineup. And I wonder if that's why he's playing better, because he doesn't have that security blanket of Hanley to rely upon, Pete DeBoer. The security blanket of Hanley to throw in there when he thinks Nils is not doing well enough. So
whatever it is, Nils needs to find a way to capture what's in his head right now and keep it going even when Miro's back. Because if we can have Miro and Nils playing the way he is right now and Harley, we are going to be in great shape.
And that wasn't a slight at Pete DeBoer. Like you said, he's had his chances. Nils has had his chances, and he has blown it like 2 out of 3 times, 4 out of 5 times. He's looked good some games, and then most of the games he has some really bad mitigating. That's funny. Mitigating like defensive deficiencies. So I'll steal some of Ardell's word. I thought it mitigate the exact same time, Ardell. That's weird. It's like we share a brain or something. Okay. But I mean, you could also look. I mean, Lindell quietly has 3 assists. Like, what the heck? Pavelski with the goal, Robertson with the goal, Duchesne with the goal. Sam Steele gets in on the offense again, and he's having a great season for the Dallas Stars on the 4th line. Suter, he's a +4. What the heck? So I hope they can keep this feeling, and we can keep this feeling moving forward, because the way that I felt after that 3rd loss, I don't even remember who we played in the 3rd loss.
Reds.
The Predators. I never want to feel like that again for the rest of the season. And if they can bottle up some of this joy, some of this confidence that they have right now, when they don't have their #1 goalie and their #1 defenseman, I mean, I only see bright things for the future for this Dallas Stars team.
We'll have to see how much of these last 2 games is the trash that is the Minnesota Wild, though, because it very well may be.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I think both can be true. Okay, so really quick, looking at the schedule moving forward, we have got lots of, I know you say like teams that they should beat, but some of these teams are not little teams. The
Yeah,
only one I
not
see,
all of them. We've got some sprinkled in, like the Blackhawks.
the Blackhawk game, we should absolutely win, especially without Connor Bedard now, especially that because he basically was their offense. Although, here, sorry, random side tangent. Do you know who could possibly be the all-star replacement for Connor Bedard for the Chicago Blackhawks? Did you see?
No.
Jason Dickinson. Did you
Oh,
see
wow. All-star Jason Dickinson.
No, I'm not joking. Like, you should go look at it. He had a ridiculous, like, toe drag goal. I'm like, is that the same guy that was on the fourth line with us like 5 years ago or however long ago it was? Like, I think he has 15 goals on the season, 14, 15 goals on the season. I'm serious. You should go look at his stats. It's crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if they make him the all-star representative. It's possible. Anyways, coming up for the Dallas Stars on the schedule, you got the Preds on Friday. We talked about the Blackhawks on Saturday. You get 2 days off, which is very rare in the month of January for the Dallas Stars. And then we've got a couple of tough games. We've got LA at home, and then we go on the road for 4, and we head up to the Northeast. We go to Philadelphia, we go to New Jersey, we play the Islanders, and then we play Detroit. So I know, like, especially the Islanders and Detroit, those two teams are kind of on the bubble a little bit, like below bubble. They're below the playoff line, I think, right now, if I remember correctly, or they're very close, or they're right there in the wild card. But Philadelphia has been a pretty good team this year, surprisingly, very surprisingly. And then the Devils have had a lot of injuries, so they've just been trying just to tread water until they get people to return, and they seem to be getting their act together here. So it's another tough stretch for the Dallas Stars coming up here. So which of those games are you kind of pinpointing and looking forward to the most?
I always look forward to playing Eastern Conference teams. It's always fun to see new faces to play against and fun being in buildings that you're only in once a year. I think I'm most excited to see them play against Philly. They got Duhaime is the new guy that they got. Is that right?
In Philly?
Yeah.
No,
Drysdale. Yeah, Drysdale. I don't know where
from
Anaheim came from. But they got a little bit of extra pep in them after they had a really good stretch there for a while, and recently the past 5-6 games they kind of fell off that pace a little bit, but that'll probably pick them back up at least for the next couple of games. It'll be fun to see Philadelphia with an actual good hockey team for the first time in a while.
And the thing is, a lot of the players are the same. It's just that the players that were hurt last season for the whole season, which was mostly Atkinson and oh my gosh, his name escaped me. Sean Couturier. I don't know why his name escaped me. Those two guys coming back has made a huge difference for them. But honestly, the game I'm really looking forward to is the New Jersey game. The Devils, they're like a fun team to watch. They really are. Like, if there's no Stars game on and there's a Devils game on, and there's there's like 5 other games going on, I'm choosing the Devils to watch because they really are a ton of fun to watch. Now, last thing, and then we'll wrap it up, Chris. The one thing I'm worried about, there are 2 back-to-backs in the next 2 weeks. Friday, Saturday this week, and then Saturday, Sunday the following week. So, then it doesn't seem to slow down after that. It just gets faster. So, okay. Anything else?
Nope. Love beating the Wild. Wild suck. Minnesota's a terrible place to live. Yeah. I like.
Is that the only reason? Is that the only reason why you came on the pod tonight, just to trash the Minnesota Wild?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Unfortunately, we don't get to play them anymore for the rest of the season. That's the bad thing. Like, we're not even halfway through the season. We're close, but not halfway through the season, and we're done. That sucks.
No more free points.
That's terrible. Exactly. All right, guys. Thank y'all for listening. Those of you that are live, we appreciate y'all coming on live. I know it's late. Church night came in late. Sorry, Chris. I know I was late. It was my fault. We did it late, just to clear things up. But there's even more of you that are listening afterwards. Really appreciate you guys listening. If you like anything you've heard today, please consider leaving a 5-star review anywhere you listen to your podcast. Go and check out sarcasticremarks.com. and also sarcasticremarksshop.com for all the latest info on our merch. It's the best way to support us and what we do. Along with Chris, my name is Ryan. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Hope y'all have a good, fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are listening. Christian, do us a favor and take us out.
GG, boys.